Joining 4-H and having rabbits is something that has changed my life. I joined in kindergarten and have been in 4-H ever since then, making this my 13th year. I remember how scary it was the first time I had to go up to the judge's table and talk to a stranger about the project I made. It was worth it in the end when a judge handed me a ribbon and told me I did a good job. As I got older, I started to beg my mom about getting a rabbit. My mom finally started to warm up to the idea and let me ask one of the older girls if I could hold a rabbit at the fair. I was excited because the owner, Sammy, let me go behind the cages. That is quite a privilege because only rabbit owners and their families can go back there. My mom talked to some rabbit breeders and I ended up buying a bunny. My first rabbit was a mini lop with floppy ears and I named her Lizzie. The first time I showed her at the fair, I didn't really know what I was doing. It was a rainy day and the show was under a shelter. I was wearing an orange fleece jacket and I noticed that all the older girls were wearing button-up white shirts. I went up to the table when they called junior does, which is the name for female rabbits ages 0 to 6 months. I didn't do the best, but afterward I learned that you're supposed to wear a white button-up shirt. I also learned that during showmanship, it's important to smile the whole time and keep your eye on the judge. Some of these things I learned from the judge, and some I learned from older girls showing rabbits. Showing at the Minnesota State Fair has been a good experience. The second time I went, I brought a rabbit. Showing livestock at the fair is a learning experience. I had to go to Minneapolis on a Wednesday at the end of August with my rabbit and my mom. When we arrived at the fairgrounds, we had to carry everything to the barn and get checked in. It was helpful to know older people who had gone before because they told me everything to bring. I had to go to a skill-a-thon on Friday morning in the Coliseum where exhibitors were tested on rabbit knowledge. That was intimidating for me because I had to go by myself and didn't know anybody. On Saturday morning I had judging, so I needed to be at the fair around 7 a.m. to get everything ready. I had to find out which table I'd be judged at and get in line so I could wait until it was my turn. I was nervous, but I got a blue ribbon and the actual judging was very fast-paced. The following day I was able to go home with my rabbit after 5 days at the fair. I learned a lot the first time I showed my rabbit at the state fair because I had to overcome some fears when I didn't know anyone else there. I had gone 4 times with a rabbit and each time has been a good experience. Being in 4-H and showing rabbits is something that has changed my life because I have made many friends and learned responsibility, work ethic, and patience working with rabbits. I have really enjoyed my experiences.